Uh, I didn't plan on doing that. It just happened. I haven't been coughing. I don't currently have the coronavirus. I don't think. I don't think. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the novel coronavirus, now known as COVID-19. Let's talk about it. The world is not prepared for things like this to happen, you know? And we've known they're going to happen. We've known they're coming, that they were going to happen for a long time now. You know, we've had many of these things throughout recorded history. And our modern world just wasn't ready for when the big one hit. And this probably isn't even the big one. This is probably just another one. And everyone's worried that it could be the big one. Or at least a big one of the big ones. And everything's shut down. But the way it's shut down has been, all over the place. No consistency. Like, yeah, do this, don't do that, maybe do this. Alright, we'll shut this down. We're thinking about shutting that down. And the winner of all this so far has been Taiwan. They've... I'm very proud of Taiwan because they've just fucking shut it down. They shut the virus down. The virus didn't shut them down. Taiwan just got it on lockdown. The virus hasn't spread there, massively. China, took extreme steps, but it seems like they've controlled it, and it's, turning back now, and things are returning to normal there. And the same with South Korea as well, and Japan and Singapore, a few other countries. These places have responded well to this. But Europe, Europe hasn't. England, United Kingdom hasn't. The United States definitely hasn't. The world isn't ready. Hasn't been ready. It's been asleep. At every level. It's just incompetence. Incompetence from, bottom to top, side to side, back to front, incompetence throughout all of a society in most countries, most places. The equipment isn't there. The training isn't there. The guidelines, the process isn't there. It's So if this is the big one, then we're fucked. And if it's not the big one, then hopefully this will be practice for the big one. But if we were going to learn from anything, we should have learned from the other ones, recent ones, and put things in place that would actually help us at this point. But there seems to be there's no book on this. And there should have been a book on this. It should be like, when this happens, do these things. And instead it's like, when this happens, we know a few things we will do, and we'll just work it all out at the time. A few other things with this coronavirus. I didn't go on my trip that I said I was going on again next month. The first time I had to cancel it because it's blurring. I know it's blurring. The first time I had to cancel that trip because I spelt my name wrong, which is a mistake I never made before. And then I went to hospital, and that sucked, and I was on antibiotics, so I booked the trip again. And then the same problem came up again. I needed to go on antibiotics again. So the night before I decided not to go on that trip, which was a very good thing, because I would still be there right now. And that country is a country that has shut down all international flights. You can't go in or out of that country at all. All comes from my teeth, these health issues. And, yeah. I've faced incompetence this time around from dentists. Massive incompetence, just dentists that don't even seem like they're really trained. Like a parody. I've been on like I've had two bad dental experiences that were like parodies of the bad dentist. Yeah. So I have to find a new dentist now. And my previous dentist, the one I had for quite a while, she was great. But she's not there right now. She's off. So I had to find new dentists. And the two dentists I've had have been like bad. And really bad. You should be arrested for fraud type of bad, because you're not, a dentist. Other things in society that need to be done are gonna, completely start breaking down. Like, I need my teeth pulled out of my head because I keep getting infections that go into my face. My face looks a bit puffy today, but it's not really like swollen, like with the infection, because I've been on antibiotics and I've just finished them. But I know it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back in a few days or a few weeks, and I'll be in a situation where I'm feeling sick again because of these infections. But as time goes on through this crisis, things like that are gonna be like, no one's gonna like care. It's like, we need resources for other things. Pull your own teeth out of your head. And for people who need surgery, but it's not like emergency, like right now, they're gonna be kind of, no, not yet. Go away, come back when the world isn't on fire. So that's annoying. That's an annoying thing, and it's gonna kill probably a lot of people, a lot more people than would have died. But I will continue my special mission eventually of visiting every country in the world. I will continue that. It like everything else in the world is delayed, postponed currently. Like, everything's postponed. Premier League, done. No. WrestleMania is going to be held. I haven't watched WrestleMania in many, many years, but that's going to be held like with no audience in a gym, in a little TV studio. And I might watch it because that would just be hilarious to see when it's usually held in stadiums. Like, all the American leagues are shut down as well. Everything's shut down. Solutions. Shall we talk about solutions? My solution to this would be for there to be a real global mechanism that starts when something like this happens. Are institutions that are global, like the UN, like the WHO, they're not the G20, these things, they're not, obviously not strong enough. And when these things happen, the countries very much kind of isolate themselves, and they go into kind of keep my shit safe, keep my island safe, my territory safe. It kind of reverts to fuck the world, we're worrying about our people, our things, our power. I think the best thing that can come out of this, a solution, is for there to be a global response international treaty that specifically has these specific plans for every country and what every country should do, pooling resources in different ways. And, it's just like, when it happens, okay, triggered. And we go into that kind of mechanism. Stock market shuts down. This is what happens to businesses. This is what happens to people who can't go to work. This is what they get financially. All these things. It just needs to be there in place. But it won't be. I don't think, anything like that would come from this. But I think that's the only solution. Like, calling a timeout on countries being sovereign, basically. And basically saying, okay, everyone stop. Everyone has a job to do. America does this. does this, China does this, Britain does this, Russia does this, Australia does this, based on, you know, their strengths and weaknesses as countries, what they can provide, their resources, what they make. Yeah, and all for different situations. But knowing human beings, like we won't do anything. We'll just be like, oh, that was funny. Nothing really happened there, or only a few 100,000 people died. Wasn't that bad. Let's all go back to normal. And then in 20 years or 100 years, some dirty bastard is going to come along, and that dirty bastard is going to wipe out half of the planet. I actually look better without the hat, with this hairstyle. I should have done this without the hat on. I wish I had my own boat. I'm going to buy a boat. That's one of the things I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a boat or a plane or just some kind of, you know, transport system that can get me across the planet, get me around the world, around the globe in different ways, you know. Just jump in it, and then maybe a boat plane, plane boat, seaplane, and a truck at the same time with a motorcycle in it. Alright, so that's it. That's the BradEarth special on COVID-19. I probably haven't talked about everything I wanted to talk about, but I think I've talked about a lot of stuff. Alright, if you're out there, good luck. Stay strong.